Oh, that was a motion to approve the minutes, and there was a second.
I just
and
didn't
then-
catch who made those motions. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Who made the motion to approve the minutes? Do you remember? With corrections. Who made that motion? Lenny, I can't hear you. Was that you?
No, I thought you made the motion to accept the
Oh,
minutes.
I made the motion. Okay, and Gray seconded it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Negative, excuse me, sorry. I seconded
Oh,
the
really?
motion. I seconded the motion to approve the agenda.
Oh, okay.
I had nothing to do with the minutes.
Okay, who seconded, or did we have a second?
So maybe we need a second.
I will second that. I will second the motion to approve the minutes with the correction that David has asked for.
Okay. All right. Any more discussion? All in favor? All right. I think everybody was in favor. Holler if I'm not getting it, because it's hard to see the hands and everything. Okay, is Phil here? All right. So Phil, I don't see him. Oh, there you are. Okay, Phil, you're on. And he's
All
going to
right.
share his screen, correct?
Yeah.
There you are. Hi, bud.
Hey, how we doing?
Good.
Awesome. Let's see if this will work. Oh, I gotta put it in presenter mode. Here we go. Okay. Let's see. How does that look, everybody? Can we see it?
Yeah, I can see it. How about everybody else?
Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent. Well, thanks for squeezing me in. Sorry to miss you at the Wallingford board meeting back in November. Appreciate the opportunity to come chat with you folks. It feels like 2020 again tonight. I haven't done a board meeting from my bedroom, I think since 2021. So blast from the past. But thanks again for squeezing me in. And let's see if I can figure out how to switch this. Did that work? It did. I always just want to start any conversation with the board with a big thank you to all of you. I think I've said this every time I've ever spoken to you, but I do believe that I have the best job in the world. I appreciate all the work that you're all doing that allows me to, show up to Wallingford Elementary School and do what I get to do every day. So thank you all so much. Not only for squeezing me in, but for everything that you do in support of our schools. And wonderful things are happening at our district schools. And certainly I can say that about Wallingford Elementary School. And just wanted to share some appreciation for all of you. This year, our goal is really around raising expectations, specifically with academics. I think, over the last 4 years that I've been at Wallingford, less than 4 years, we've been working on raising a lot of expectations. The exciting thing for us is that this year we feel like we're in a place where we can shift the focus of those higher expectations to things like instruction, targeting supports for students. And we have a particular focus on building math proficiency at Wallingford this year, which is, if you've heard from other elementary schools, probably a bit of a theme. And we have some strategies and some new resources that I'll talk about here in a minute. But we were excited coming into the year, feeling like we'd been working for a few years on building systems and fixing broken systems. And you've heard me talk a lot about things like behavior and attendance. It was exciting to come into a year where we really felt like we could pour a lot of focus into achievement. And so that's what we've been doing this year. I wanted to share a little bit of data. What this is these are growth scores from our STAR 360 testing in math since the fall of 2024. So this represents essentially our math scores since I've been the full-time principal at Wallingford. So this essentially would predate this focus that I'm talking about. That last dot you see is our fall growth scores from this year. And we're going to do our winter star on Tuesday of next week. So we'll have the fall to winter data is generally my favorite data set to look at. So we'll get to check that out, Wednesday of next week, and we'll see where that next dot falls. But as you can see, so a growth score, just to talk about that a little bit, these are not scale scores. This is not compared to the rest of the country, like a percentile rank would show you. This is how our students are doing against themselves, essentially. So as you can see, we've experienced some good growth during the school year. But as you can also see, the more growth we see during a school year, the harsher that summer slide is. So if you're looking from a spring dot to a fall dot, that would represent the summertime. And as you can see, in 2024-25 school year, we had some good growth there, and we did not experience a really harsh summer slide. This past year, we saw more significant growth during the school year, and then we saw a more significant summer slide. So that's part of the reason that we're so excited about having a math interventionist position. At Wallingford, we have a math interventionist 3 days a week. And what we're hoping is, by working more with students in an individual and small group setting, what we're going to be able to do is help them retain skills, not only from spring to fall, but also just in general. We're going to talk a little bit about these PLCs, these professional learning communities we're doing this year, where we're focused on math. But something we've been talking about as a staff a lot this year, and really district-wide with the elementary schools, is we have a little bit of a problem with fluency in math. And that's something we've been trying to solve. But one of the underlying issues with that is, we have a math curriculum that we don't really feel like does a great job of revisiting skills. I think the comment from one of our teachers was, that our math curriculum sort of assumes that once you've learned it, you've got it. And so that's something we've been talking about a lot as a staff, about how can we supplement and use some extra time that we've built into the schedule for math in order to not only work on fluency, but to make sure we're revisiting essential skills, especially the skills that are going to come up early in the year for those students the following school year. So essentially, you see we have some good growth scores here, and really we would attribute this to some of those systems we talked about being built. Whether that's how we respond to those unwanted or unexpected behaviors, and really feeling like we have a good system for that. So disruption in the classroom has decreased. But also just, improving systems like supervision evaluation, making those things more meaningful. And then, a lot of great work by obviously our classroom teachers and special educators, just doing the best they can. And we're excited to see, with this new focus, what this data is going to look like for this year. So I wanted to share that with you. Speaking of growth scores, this next slide is a point of pride for us at Wallingford Elementary School. We got this news just before the school year started. Greatschools.org is an organization that rates schools, and these ratings are largely based on the test scores that organization looks up for Wallingford Elementary School, whether that be our Star 360 scores that I was just talking about, or VTCAP scores that we take one time in the spring. We have been a 4 out of 10 on greatschools.org since I got to Wallingford. And this summer we jumped to an overall 7 out of 10. And what you can see there is our overall test scores are still a 4. But they're giving us a 10 out of 10 in academic progress. the reason that we're seeing, an organization like Great Schools give us a 10 out of 10 in academic progress is because we've had such great growth scores over the last 3 years. If I were to show you the reading data, for example, the growth scores over the last 3 years for reading, which if you want to see those, feel free to email me and I'll shoot them over. But those are a much nicer, steep upward trajectory than what I just showed you. And we would attribute that to our new ELA curriculum and the fact that we spend 2 hours and 15 minutes a day on reading, writing, and differentiated ELA instruction. We have a crack team of reading interventionists at Wallingford Elementary School that we're very fortunate to have. And our teachers have really been working hard, to deliver that curriculum, that 2 hours and 15 minutes of instruction, every day, which is a pretty tall task. So we're quite proud of what this looks like, and now, we're looking forward to seeing that 4 increase as we continue our focus on building proficiency. A few strategies for accomplishing our goal. Math PLCs I mentioned quickly. So that's a professional learning community meeting where teachers are coming, looking at data, sharing data, talking strategy, talking a little bit of shop. And this year, all of the elementary schools in our district are focused on math for those meetings. So that's been really good to have that time and space once a month to just talk about math and to talk about, what we can do in the day to work on fluency. We've been talking a lot about those essential skills. What does a 6th grader need to know? And how can we do a better job in 5th grade of making sure we're revisiting those skills that a 6th grader needs to know at the beginning of the year? So there's been a lot of positive conversation and some good outcomes out of those meetings. I mentioned we have a new math intervention position, which is at Wallingford 3 days a week. What we did with the schedule, I mentioned 2 hours and 15 minutes of reading and writing every day. We were previously at an hour a day of math, which within the math curriculum we have essentially broke down to about a half hour of core instruction and then a half hour of practice. And so what we did was we added 10 minutes and started scheduling the math interventionist to be in each grade, grades 1 through 6 for 40 minutes a day. So we're to a total of 70 minutes of math a day now, that half hour of core instruction, and then a 40-minute block where the math interventionist is either pushing in or pulling individual students out. That looks different with different ages. But that's been a really positive thing. And we are starting right now. We did a math screener with all of our students at the beginning of the year, and then based on those results, we did some further screening to see where to place students in intervention. We have just started this past week with revisiting some of those assessments with the students in math intervention, and so far, I don't even think we're halfway, but so far what we're seeing is quite a bit of skill development from the students who are in math intervention. So we're very happy about that. Mm-hmm. And then something that I'm doing this year, just to sort of further the focus on math. I have a long list of teachers who are on the formal evaluation track this year. I think all but 3 of the teachers at Wallingford are on the formal track this year. And so when I am going into classrooms and doing formal observations, we started every single teacher who was observed in the fall. I observed a math lesson for those classroom teachers. So, being able to get in there, spend an entire block, seeing how math is taught and at that grade level, able to give some feedback. And that's been good. So those are sort of the 3 big things that we're doing as far as our focus on math this year. And then the last thing I wanted to share with you was really just kind of unrelated, but a new thing at Wallingford and something that's been really wonderful. And we will certainly continue to do every year from here on out. I challenged our school community, our student body at the beginning of this school year to complete 100 acts of service before the school year was over. So we pre-K through 6, we are 137 students as of Monday. And so, less than 1 act per service per student, seemed reasonable in a year. We're about halfway through the year and we are somewhere in the high 40s as far as acts of service completed. You can see there's a lot of photos on this slide from probably my favorite act of service that has happened so far, which was the 5th grade decided to do a Veterans Day ceremony at Wallingford, which hadn't happened in quite a few years. And the cool thing about that was almost every grade ended up contributing to that ceremony. And so it was a really cool day. We had a lot of local veterans that came out for that event. They were incredibly appreciative. And so that's now a new, annual event at Wallingford that came out of, just challenging students to go out and, do good for their community. So that's been an awesome thing that's going on at West this year. And I had some great pictures, so I just wanted to share that as well. Are there any questions? Mr. Clark.
Yeah, hi. Well, thanks. That was terrific. I really appreciate all the information. I'm really interested in this act of service. Just to, how do you talk about it with the students? How is this connected to being a citizen, and what sort of reflection is made?
Yeah, so that's a great question, Rich. And I'll be honest, the reflection piece is going to come at the end of the year. So the goal for us was really this year just to, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess inspire, without being dramatic, our students to go get involved in their community, and also just an awareness that a lot of those things are going on. So why don't we pay attention to them, make sure we're capturing them. And then at the end of the year, what we'll do is we'll have a little celebration if and when we hit 100 acts of service. I've told the students that I'm not going to let them fail on this. So, come heck or high water, we're going to hit 100. And when that happens, we're going to have a big celebration. We're going to look at all the photos from all these acts of service. But the cool thing is I've been stashing away a lot of thank you notes that we've received. So at the end of the year, it's going to be kind of a big assembly where we really try to look at, hey, here's the impact we had, as a school community this year. On an individual basis, are we, having students reflect on these activities? Not yet, anyway. I think in the first year of doing this, we were really just trying to make them or help them to understand, why are we doing this? We talk a lot about this idea of pro-social behavior, just acting in the service of others, because we talk about how good it feels when someone helps us out. And so, how amazing it would be to enter, a community of any size, whether that's a classroom or a school as a whole, or, the town of Wallingford, and to know that everyone else there is willing to help you with whatever you need. And so that's the culture we're trying to build. And we see that really shining through in the individual classrooms. And this project, we're hoping to really kind of make that more concrete school-wide as well.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions or comments? Well, it's good to hear, Phil, that the math intervention interventionists are being effective and helping out, and you're seeing the positives of that. And thank you for reporting on that.
Yes, of course. I look forward to showing you all where we got to at the end of the year.
All right, we'll have you back then.
Sounds good.
All right.
Thank you.
Good night. All right.
Thanks, Phil.
Okay. Thank you. Food services, we were gonna continue talking about some sort of a committee to look at the food services, but I'm gonna let Cheryl, will you kind of take that? Because
Yes.
I think you've talked with Stan a bit about that and have
Yeah.
some information for the
Yes.
board to consider.
So I know we talked about creating a committee. I think it would be most appropriate if it was an admin/board committee as opposed to a board ad hoc committee. So I spoke to Stan, Jody, and Jen Galusha, and they are willing to serve on this committee. And I would be looking for board members who were interested in joining it as well. So I don't know if,
Are you asking now?
yes, yes. If you're interested, I think it would be important for us to get some board members on the committee, and then you guys can run with it and report back to, all of you report back to the board.
Okay, Ned, go ahead.
I was just volunteering.
All right.
Awesome.
Okay, any other? One of the things about having it be an admin committee is that it doesn't, I don't think we need to do warnings and all of that. It can be a more casual, I guess would be the word, or informal type of meeting, and you guys can set everything up. Anybody else want to?
I'll join Ned on that.
Rich is joining.
Rich.
And I
Okay.
I was wondering, David left. Was thinking he might. David, did you want to be part of that, or?
Sorry, my landline phone was ringing and no one was answering. But yeah, I mean, I could do that for sure.
Okay. All right. So, and if anybody else, Bronson, what?
I believe I heard students were going to be on that committee. Is that still true?
No, Bronson, you are thinking about a different committee that I sent something out to all students. That is more the school district improvement plan.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. As a member of the public, students should be on that committee. They're the ones that eat it.
Thank you.
Respectfully.
Well, we might ask our student rep if she'd be willing to join. Go ahead, Stan.
He might be talking about the bid for the food service contract. We did have a student on that committee last year.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, well, I think once the committee gets together, they can always reach out to students if they feel like that's, you can also reach out to other board members, parents, community members. That would be part of what the committee could figure out. But just so the board is okay with it being an admin committee as opposed to a board ad hoc committee, I think that's the big question. Okay, good. Anybody else have any input to that? So Cheryl, you and Stan will kind of get that, or Jody, or whoever will get that kind of kicked off.
Yep.
Okay.
Do we know maybe how long we'll meet or how often? Just, I don't want to spread myself too thin.
I think that's up to you guys, right? And there's a lot to look at, right? You're looking at self-op versus having an outside distributor, or we talking about summers. There was a lot that was on the table, so it'll be up to you guys.
Okay.
All right. School choice in out numbers. Oh, Stan, go ahead.
Just staying on the topic of food service.
Okay, sorry, yeah.
Our timeline is kind of crunched with the RFP.
Yeah.
So we need some volunteers for the committee, because we'll definitely have to meet within the next week or two to solidify that RFP and what we want in it. That the deadline for that is, the end of the month, needs to be submitted to the state.
Can I volunteer too, or is that too many folks, Cheryl?
No, I don't think so. That will be
Okay.
fine.
I'm happy to help. We've been having some conversations adjacent, like with food access stuff in my work, so it,
Oh, yeah.
I can kind of bring that to the table.
Yeah, I think you have some expertise, which would be helpful to the committee for sure.
Is this committee the one designing the RFP?
Yeah, I'll be designing the RFP. I'll be going right from start to finish.
That's right. Okay, that's what I thought. Thanks.
Yep.
Good. All right. Okay. Ready to move on? School choice in-out numbers. Who's doing
Okay.
that?
That's me again.
Okay.
I'm here to ask that you approve that we, as has been done in the past few years for school choice, we put a limit on 40 in and 40 out. I did check to see what our current numbers are. And it's currently, we have 11 in and 12 out. And remember, school choice is when students can come to us if they, it's not a tuition. Right now, I'm going to confuse myself.
No, that's it.
The tuition does not come with them.
Right.
Like
Right.
it's because they're choosing to come here. So right now it stands at 11 in, 12 out. For the past, it looks like 3 or 4 years, maybe even longer, we've always put a cap as to 40 in and 40 out, and I propose we do the same. Yeah, go ahead.
No, Cheryl, isn't there I'm trying to think of what it is, but if we had like 40 out and 10 in, isn't there like a maximum spread? I don't know how to describe it. So in other words, we wouldn't let 40 out. I thought that got designated, but it doesn't. That,
Not to my knowledge.
It might be in the elementary program that they do that. That there can't be more than a difference of like 5 kids or something, but it might be the elementary school choice program. Does anybody know? Stan, do you know?
Stan must know. Go ahead, Stan.
Yeah, it's the elementary program that has the limits on how many in or out. What the board is deciding is what limits do they want to put on for in and out. So, in the very beginning, it was different for the amount that they put in and out, but the last few years they've done the same number. So that's basically what's been done in the past of the high school is the last few years. What Cheryl has said is that they've used the same number for the in and out.
Okay. Gotcha. David, go ahead.
I'm just curious to know why as high as 40 in a relatively small school district when we have a number of other reasonably close options that could theoretically, obviously it looks pretty even right now, but 40 students when you have a graduating class of, I'm not sure what, 50 or 60?
Yeah, 54 last year.
Pretty sizable number. So I'm just unclear as to why it's so high when only 12 or 11 seem to be taking advantage. It just seems, if 40 kids opted to leave and 5 or 10 opted to come in, that's a loss for our district in every way. So I struggle with the number so high.
I'm not sure when it changed, but there was a point in time way back in the beginning where they put a lower limit on the number of students that could leave or go out. And I want to say off the top of my head, but I'm not sure, it was something like 24 out and 40 in were the numbers. But at some point in the last few years, it did switch to 40-40. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, that might be what I was thinking about, was that it was
Yeah, there was a difference in the beginning that used to be set by the board. Fewer kids were allowed to leave than what's been stated in the last couple of years.
Has it ever approached 40 or anywhere near that?
Back in the day, but since enrollments have gone down, it has not been that high of a number. It hasn't gotten nearly that high. It's been probably, and Cheryl can correct me, probably less than 20.
Yes, it was, I want to say 14 and 18 last year. I don't remember which way, in or out, but the numbers were like 14 and 18.
I would advocate for keeping it more like 20, honestly. Because, I mean, if we keep it at 40 and for whatever reason students opt to do that, we already struggle fielding strong athletic teams in terms of numbers in many of our sports. You know, we have often slim pickings, and if, you know, we have theoretically allow a huge number to leave, we run the risk of really undermining the programming we're looking to offer the kids who stay. So, I mean, I would suggest keeping that number more like 20.
20 out, you mean? And
Yeah,
40
20
in?
out. Yeah, I'm fine taking 40 in. I just, it's the out that I'm concerned about.
Right.
Well, isn't 40 coming in without any tuition
Yeah.
as well? Would be to me.
Yeah, they come in with no money. Ours go out. We keep the money for the ones that go out as
Maybe it
well.
ought to be 2020.
Actually, I want to say something.
You're not muted.
So maybe though, I mean, even if they don't bring money in, maybe having extra students though can still benefit by having more people for extracurricular activities like David was talking about. So I mean, from what I hear, it sounds like it'd make more sense to have a lower limit for out, but leave the limit for in higher. It's not like you have to add extra classes if there's 40 students, it seems. I could be wrong.
That's a good point. Rich?
What was the rationale? Was it for having the numbers different?
In the past, Rich, are you talking about why?
Yeah, why in the past? I mean, why was that decision ever made?
I believe Stan can probably answer it better, or maybe even Len, but I believe it's probably what David had said. They didn't want too many going out, but wanted them in. But I frankly, being my first year, I said, I'm going to go with what's been approved for the past few years. Right. It's funny because I did toy with the idea of saying 20 out and 40 in. And then I just decided to go with 40-40, but it's obviously your decision, and we'll go with whatever you guys approve.
Okay. Lynn, go ahead.
Yeah, just one of the things I know, saying having 40 students come in would be great, but just keep in mind, if you have 40 students come in, then you're going to have to provide them with classes, which means hiring staff, which means your budget goes up and you're not getting any money for them. So, I think, and I don't remember, I mean, it seems like the number's been the same for as long as I can remember. But I would agree with David and some other folks that, limiting the 20 out and, and maybe not 40 in, just because if that, number one, I don't think it's realistic. And number two, if it were to happen, then we're going to have to figure out how we educate them.
Yeah. Okay, David.
I have a question about that.
Okay, hold on, Greg. David had his hand up, but you're next. Okay?
Absolutely. Sorry.
It is right. My question was, I suppose, know that we don't get general tuition funds if a student comes in, but if we have students who maybe require extra services or supports, Does the state reimburse for services provided to those students? Things like that. I mean, I'm assuming they do, but I don't
The
know.
local district does.
We would build a local
local.
district.
So we would build, okay. So it isn't necessarily, so if we have a student with like high, maybe on an IP who has high needs, we would reimburse for those services. So it wouldn't be maybe,
Right.
again, I just want to keep the full picture in mind.
Yep. Ray?
So I guess my question would be to Len's point, not challenging it at all, just asking the question. If let's just say, for the sake of argument, that we did have 40 students spread over the district, would we in fact need to add staff, or do we have enough, like for lack of a more intelligent term, enough slack in the system to put 40 additional students into various classes across the district? That's my
Well, it's
question.
just the high school.
Yeah, right. That's
Well,
what I
okay,
was gonna say.
even in the high school. I mean, how does that actually affect the average class size, I guess? And Len, like I said, I'm not challenging your assertion.
No.
You have far more experience than I do. I'm just wondering.
It's just, I think you need to keep in mind that it could, it never has. And I think one of the things, at one time we put the higher numbers in there because we were looking at students coming from Mount Holly to Mill River when Black River closed. So we thought we increased that so we could bring in more students. And they
come in as tuition though,
right.
Len.
That's what I just said. Yes, they do come in as tuition.
So they're not part of the 40, right?
Correct.
No, they are not part of the 40 because they are tuition students.
Right.
And their town will pay us the tuition that we set, that Stan will talk about next.
Yep. Okay.
This is, from my limited experience, what I've seen has been primarily like Rutland City and us. We've had an exchange of students. Sometimes it's just because they feel it's a better fit or whatever. And like I sat down and spoke with the superintendent at Rutland City, and we just moved them. But there's no exchange of money at that point.
Right. So, Josh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, the reality is the 40 number in either direction means something catastrophic has gone wrong, either in our district or another district, and it's really unlikely. And that 11 or 15 is what we have been. And like, we've had a similar discussion to this, and in the past it was like, well, whatever. If it's 40 kids going out of the school, then they should probably get out of the school. Or if there's 40 people that want to come in, they can come in. But I think it's really I think actually having a conversation about like, can we handle 40 or not? Like doesn't even really matter. If we want to lower it to 20, I think that's fine. Or if we want to something terrible had to have gone wrong for those numbers to actually come into play. So right. I'm fine with lowering them or keeping them. So,
or something fantastic going on in our school that kids really want to, we'll say it's that, right? So does someone want to make a recommendation, or should we just, do we need a motion to approve the numbers? I'm pretty sure we do.
Yes, I need someone to make a motion, you guys to vote on it, and that's what we'll set as our numbers for 2027.
I move that
right.
we accept the numbers that the superintendent recommends.
Okay, that was Rich. Is there a second?
I second that.
Okay, was that Sarah?
Sarah.
That was Sarah. Sorry, she had technical difficulties.
My computer died. I'm using Grace. We're together.
Her tech support failed her.
Okay. All right. Is there any more discussion? All right. All in favor? Okay. I think that's probably everybody, right? If not, speak up. Okay. Because you're not all on the screen for me anyway. I don't know. All right. Tuition rate. Stan. How's it looking?
It's looking. We just need to set a tuition rate for next year for the elementary and the high school. But currently, right now, for the elementary school, the tuition is for some IRA students that attend Clarendon. I think we have about 4 students currently attending Clarendon Elementary School. So that would be that tuition rate is mainly set for the town of Ira. The high school obviously has multiple towns involved in that tuition rate. Calculation is just based on our regular ed expenses minus transportation costs. We don't include special ed expenses. And then we take our best guess as what we estimate the enrollment would be for next year to try to come to a tuition rate. The state allows you a 3% up or down window or target to hit within that, where you don't have to pay back the town, or you don't have to go back looking for a refund that you undercharged. Since I've been here, we've been pretty good with that number. We really have not, I don't think we've ever gone back to the towns and asked for more money that we undercharged them. So we've been pretty close to that number throughout the time that I've been here. For next year for the elementary schools, I was estimating a $21,000 per student charge. That's a $1,000 increase from 2026, or just a flat 5% increase on the elementary tuition. So I would look for a motion to set the elementary school tuition for FY27 at $21,000.
So moved.
I'll second.
I have a question. Is that similar to other elementary schools? I mean, is that basically comparable?
It's basically comparable. I think the state average might be around 22,000, somewhere around there for elementary. And for elementary, it varies because it's based on, obviously the more students you have, the lower the tuition rate would more than likely be. But based on the expenses, we come up with an actual number at the end of the year, or the state does, and comes back and gives us what's allowable. And usually we're within 3% of that number. So.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Okay. Anybody opposed? Gray, did you have a question or no?
No, I was me voting and being slow to take my hand down.
Thank you. All right. And then the high school, Stan?
Yeah, the high school, we're looking to set the tuition rate at $22,500 for FY27. And in FY26, it was at $21,500. Again, that's another just a $1,000 increase in dollars per student, or a 4.65% increase on last year's rate. So I'd be looking to for a motion to set the high school tuition rate at $22,500 for fiscal year 27.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, discussion. Okay, all in favor? Okay. All right, our next item is the annual meeting warning, and that all came out. I mean, you guys all got that in your emails. And let me see here. I'm just trying to get it so I can see it. Okay, so we need approval of the board of the notice. Is that correct? Is that what we're looking for? Okay.
Yes, that's what we're looking for.
Okay. Rich is our town moderator in Clarendon. No, who's the Mill River moderator? Oh, it's Eldred. Is Eldred gonna be?
Eldred French.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm for select board.
Okay, that's right. All right. A motion to approve the meeting notice as presented.
So moved.
I'll
Okay.
second.
Okay. Any discussion? Pretty cut and dried, I think. All the dates look right and the numbers look right.
Do
Guess
we
it's
have
good to-
the other roles taken care of?
Yes, Rebecca does have the other roles taken care of.
Thank you.
Okay. All in favor? Okay. Unanimous. All right. Moving right along, we go a lot quicker here. Committee reports. Personnel.
Yeah.
Len?
We did not have a meeting tonight. And this is a question, and I don't have the answer myself. The only issue that was on the agenda was approving the minutes from November 5th and December 3rd. So I'm wondering, and I don't know if we need to approve them now. Or should we approve them, I guess is my question. Because you're talking from those minutes from November 5th and December 3rd have not been approved yet.
Yeah, so I think you need to just hold them till your next meeting.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, that
Yeah.
won't be till February, that's all.
Yeah, well, I've been on committees that haven't approved minutes for like a year, so.
And that's fine. That's why I was asking, because I
Yep.
did not know.
Yep.
And other than that, our next meeting will be in February. There are no contracts. The ad hoc committee for the superintendent eval is coming up in a couple of weeks.
Mhm.
But that's basically where we're at.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Policy, Kim?
Yeah, we have not met since the last time we've had a meeting. So we have no policies for us to approve at the meeting today. So our next meeting is next Tuesday at 6 p.m. And Rebecca, thank you. Rebecca just sent out the agenda for that.
Okay. Building and grounds? Josh?
We haven't had another meeting since our last meeting. It normally will be on the 26th of this month at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
I think if that's good for everybody, I'll get together an agenda with Tim, and
Perfect.
we'll send that out.
January 26th, you said?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Community engagement. Sarah?
Okay, there we go.
We have not had a meeting for a little while and there is not one planned. But if something comes up, we will schedule one.
Okay. And the ad hoc superintendent evaluation is the 21st, I believe, at 6 o'clock.
Carol,
And
can that can be done remotely, I'm assuming, is that correct?
yeah, we'll set it up remote. Yeah.
Okay, good.
And everybody I was just going to ask, who's the members again? Any member can attend. But we got Lenny, Kim, Sarah.
I am as well.
And Josh and me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
And
that's the
Steve
5.
too, right? Steve Abatel?
Pardon?
I think Stephen would be, but I think most likely he won't be able to.
Yeah, so that's why I'm on finance, so I can kind of, and as the chair.
Which
So
committee
we'll
are we talking about?
This is the superintendent evaluation, the ad hoc committee.
Sorry, I missed that.
Yeah, no. So we'll get that process started for Cheryl in 2 weeks. Okay, finance pay orders. Would someone like to volunteer to read those? Anybody? I'll read them. All right, let me find them.
Carol, you're so good.
Let me find them. I try to, move it on, but we can do it. I just have to find Karen's. Oh, here it is. Payroll warrants. All right. So let's see. So the payroll warrant, tell me if I'm doing it wrong. I don't know. For December 19th, 2025, $740,372.17. For January 2nd, 2026, $653,653.88 for a total of $1,394,026.05. I make a motion to approve these payroll warrants. Is there a second?
Seconded.
Josh seconded. Any discussion? All in favor? Okay, and then next, oh, not that one, not that one. Let's see. Oh, where is the accounts payable? I'm not seeing it. Does someone have the accounts payable handy they're looking at? Or maybe we didn't get it. Didn't we get an email that said we were going to get it this morning?
Well,
Is that
they
the
said they
one?
were
Is it the 72,000 one? Just wanted to.
I've got it.
You got it? Will you read it, please, Ned?
I'll do my best.
You just have to read the date and the amount.
Yep. The accounts payable warrant for January 7th, 2026 is for $72,236.76. And I believe that's everything, or do I need to read off this?
No, I think that's it. Oh, is there a
Student
student
activity.
Okay.
student activity?
Thank
Yeah.
you. And the student activity on the date of January 6th, 2026 for a total of $4,640.16.
Okay.
Can I make a
Go ahead.
motion to approve those?
Yes, you do. Mm-hmm.
I'll second.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor? Okay. All right. Other legal business. I had just one question. I wrote the school board report for the annual, that goes in the annual report. I sent a copy to all of you. And I looked at a lot of annual reports just to get an idea of, what should be there, could be there, and then went from there. But the one thing that I noticed that was different is some only had the board chair and the assistant or vice board chair, whatever. What do you call it, Josh? But some had all the board members, because it is kind of a report from all of us. And I was tending to think that we should do that, put all the board members on it, but I didn't want to do that without you guys saying, okay. Is that me? Somebody's getting a phone call.
Yeah, I am perfectly happy to have my name attached to that report.
Okay, so by consensus, everybody okay with it? Okay,
Yes.
so we'll have all our names on it. Perfect. All right. Anybody else have any other business they want to bring up?
Yeah, I don't know if this is legal business or just business, but just to let you guys know that Sarah and I, as of January 20th, will be gone. We'll be in Mexico.
For 3 months.
Well, 2 to 3 months. Sadly, I'm giving Elon Musk some of my money. So I will have, well, trust me, I feel like I'm cutting off my left hand, but we will have Starlink. So we'll have good internet, and we'll hopefully be able to attend all board meetings, committee meetings remotely. And then we'll be back sometime in early to mid-March. And we'll be thinking of you all while you're freezing your tails off in Vermont, and we are sweating to death down in the tropics. So just
Well,
let you
who
guys-
knows? Who knows? By March, Mexico might be a state. So, the way things are going.
Yeah, no kidding. that's a whole nother subject, isn't it? But anyway, just to let you guys know, we will do our best to attend all of the meetings.
Okay, thank you. Well, you guys have a great time.
We will.
Send us sunshine vibes. Okay, anybody else? Anything?
Bronson
All right.
has his hand raised.
Right, yeah.
Oh, okay. Bronson, it's not really a place for you to be participating, but we will give you access. Go ahead.
Yeah, I had been asked to like give a report on how well Mill River prepared me for like after college is where I'm at and just after high school. Would you guys like that?
I would like that, but can we do it during public comment next time? Next meeting?
If you guys
you're
have it in
available?
person, I was delayed. I thought I'm at the school right now.
I went to the
You're
school
at the
through
school
Bronson.
right now? All right. Are you,
Yeah.
did you prepare to do that tonight?
Yeah, I have bullet points that I was going to go over, but I can
All right.
hold it if you guys want.
No, go for it. Go for
All
it.
right, great.
Is everybody okay with that? It's early. Yeah, go for it.
All right, cool. So I'll go over good, the bad, and then you also asked like my thoughts on the food, which is kind of why I spoke up earlier. And that's going to be shorter though. So good. Let's start off with personal connection. Sorry, we're both. Personal connection. The school being so small, it was great that I never felt like it was this huge bureaucracy I was up against. If I had a problem, I always knew who I could go to. There are always people that, even if it wasn't strictly their job, they were willing to help out. If I had no idea who the problem, like who could help me, I could go to my homeroom, Mr. Roach. I could go to Miss Bride, Miss Spencer, anyone. Everyone, like being from a small town, everyone's super nice. It was great. Yeah. So, and like you guys, I see 4 or 5 of you out in Rutland on the town on the regular, and you guys are always super nice and friendly and willing to have a chat. And so thank you for being nice people and hiring nice people. Yeah. Secondly, the music program. As I've said before, when I was a student rep, incredible. It's one of the top ones in the state. Like we compete with, I think, Middlebury to send the most kids and to like the state festivals and the district festivals, and they're always super fun. And we, even with declining enrollment, still managed to keep up an incredible variety of music ensembles. And they had the musical this year, which was incredible. I don't know which ones you guys watched it, but it was amazing. Third, the guidance program. Their whole department is great. They helped a ton during the college search and scholarship search, and I believe they also helped out with like vocational schools and getting work programs and stuff in place for the non-college bound students, and they were incredibly helpful. Flexible pathways was I used, and many of your students use a lot in our time in high school. That means dual enrollment, early college, Stafford, independent studies. Those were helpful. One thing that was a snag with that is you guys used to pay teachers extra for example, last year there wasn't AP French, but Madame Cook is certified to teach AP French. That was the next step in my French journey, but I was the only student that needed it. So I went to her and asked, hey, would you be willing to teach it to me during your prep period? She took it upon herself, said yes, and I was incredibly grateful. But you guys in the past would have paid her extra to, as in, because you don't, in theory, I think you guys don't pay them for their prep periods. Like that's the idea. But she was working, like prepping materials for me and teaching me. You would have given her a bonus or a stipend or something. And that has gone away in the 2010s, I think. And it just makes it harder. When I asked the teachers, they were willing to, but I know there have been times where teachers have refused. Not like their fault, like it cuts into their prep time, but looking at that, I know the budgets are like super strained right now, but something to think about. The robotics team, I follow their Instagram. You guys should too. They're doing incredible. They're always doing something nifty. I just saw a poster. They're having like selling food, and I encourage you to check them out. The last like super amazing thing I had in my checklist was like teacher commitment. They're always willing, and not just teachers, also especially Miss Brad and Miss Spencer and the guidance department, willing to go above and beyond, willing to stay late, willing to do whatever it takes as long as it helps the student. And that a lot of these things are because I have not encountered them in college because it's such a big school. But the teachers love their students, always willing to stop by a flex block, do whatever it takes. Some things that need improvement. I believe the school does not adequately support the science program. Talking to students from other schools, that came from different high schools at college, it doesn't give adequate opportunities. We have one AP Science class. It's environmental science, and of the College Board offers, I believe 6 different AP Science classes. It's the easiest one, and it's, in my opinion, prepares you for the fewest after high school opportunities. Like there are 3 different AP, maybe even 4 different physics classes. There's a chemistry, there's a biology class. We used to have some of those. We don't anymore. I think physics is also an elective, which is used in so many high-tech careers. I'm a little biased because I'm going for engineering, and like they even used to have, when I was in biology, Mr. Gamache would say, we used to have a marine biology class, used to have all these things, and here's the proof. We have these old specimens that never got dissected, and we were lucky enough that he'd bring them out and we could use them, but a look at bolstering the science program with more supplies would be well warranted, I believe.
Okay, so Bronson, I'm going to give you a 2-minute warning.
All right, then I'll go quicker. Class difficulty. The difficulty of classes is slipping. I feel like it did not academically prepare me for college as well as I would want it to. I feel like the bar has been lowered, and it just, talking to people that went to high school in previous years here, it used to be harder, and I don't know why, but it seems just standards have been lowered, and going into college, it was like being thrown in the deep end. Statistics knowledge, watching presentations from the board past when I was a student rep, and talking to some admin was lacking. Like I remember watching some presentations where I was in stats at the time, they used mean when they should use median, and it was hard to read, which statistically is bad. One of stats principles is it has to be easy to understand, and it wasn't. So I think admin needs to be more, when you guys go to a retreat, look at statistics classes or something, because some presentations were not up to snuff, I would say. And then classroom interruptions, this one's for the teachers. They would constantly complain about how many times the intercom went off and how many times field trips interrupted their classes and how it was impossible to teach, being interrupted every couple minutes. They would like that reduced. Again, most of these, I don't know how you do it, but I'm just telling you, these are things that would help. Food, it's not always nutritious. I've had donuts here for breakfast before, and like the breakfast is super sugary. The food, it not being locally sourced, I believe is what I read in the minutes. I kind of assumed it was, since we're like an agricultural state, but it'd be cool if it was. And one story is that one time when I was in sophomore year, we found like worms in the turkey sandwiches. There were 2 students one day that we found just like itty bitty larvae. So it could be better. It's not awful, but yeah, please have it locally sourced if you can. Please have it good. Please have student input. I said that earlier. I think it's important. They're the ones that eat it. I guess that's it.
All
Any
right. Yeah. Thank you, Brant. We appreciate that. I think we're working on some of that stuff. So
Good. Yeah, some of this stuff it's from all my time here, so it might be a little outdated. So good. Glad to hear.
okay. Anybody else want to say anything? All right. Agenda building for next time. I don't know what we have. Cheryl, do you have a calendar of
Yes.
stuff that we should be looking at?
Yes, for the next meeting, I have two things. I have that we will set the yearly calendar. So I will give you a calendar and you can approve it, or not. It's a unified one from all of our districts nearby. And then also I have Board of Education, open meeting law / Robert's rules. So if we want to go over that.
Okay. Is there anything else that we need to follow up on? I don't know. We'll have to see. Anybody else have any agenda items they'd like to see put on?
Carol, I just have one question. I know
Yeah.
we are putting out an RFP to hopefully improve the quality of the food coming from our vendor. But do we need to also, just because it's going to take a long time to do we need to have more discussion about the possibility of switching to our own in-house food service? And I guess the only reason I bring it up is because I'm concerned that if we wait, we'll just find ourselves in the same position as we were in, late this year, next year, where it's kind of seems a little bold to make a decision to go in-house. I'm just wondering if we want to try to be working on a plan B, and maybe the next meeting's not the right time to do it. Maybe we can wait a while, but at some point, I think we need to discuss plan B in case we don't get what we want.
I think that's what that committee, I mean, they're going to work on the RFP, but they're also going to be talking about the advantages and disadvantages of in-house versus contracted services. So I think then the committee will bring that to the full board, and then the full board will discuss or make a decision.
That's fine.
Does that help?
Absolutely. As long as that process is happening at some level, so we have, like I said, so we have a plan B. That's great. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. All right. Well, I think we can adjourn. Unless anybody has any other business. All right. Good night, everybody. This was weird. I look forward to seeing you all in person.
Good night.
Bye. Good night, everybody.